Sheila here with Sirius Talis Moon, and I want to clarify something because um, people do not try to commit a suicide. They try to kill the acts of rape. The acts of rape within, they can express themselves as fungal infections, and for that, it takes tremendous amount of um, detoxing. Now, of course, when people detox from something like that, um, if they manage to kill acts of rape and there's no rape, then they live. If not, then but they could die. And that is the answer because I feel like this is an energy reading. Um, no one has authority over person when they haven't abolished act of rape, and when they have, they don't need authority over person. So this is a tautology. And I think this clarifies whatever questions there were or trying to define for people of what they did try to do, what they didn't try to do. Very simply put, they tried to kill acts of rape. Now, when acts of rape in the body, it materializes in many ways. One of them can be fungi or caries, which is also type of something that is molded and stagnant. Okay, remember the teeth of the children will not rot because when we abolish practice of eating unripe fruit, then the teeth of the children will no longer rot because the parents ate unripe fruit, meaning the rape of the infants. This is a result of when the infiltration of the Epstein ring is something that is a side effect of something bigger. And this is the practice of the rape of infants that affected the medicine. Rape of infants. And as adults, when they come to therapy, they are raped again. And sometimes the therapist also. And so and it also pertains to businesses, to real estate. Anything was established on rape of infants. whether the children survived or not, whether it was in the astral or in the physical. This thing can only, how should I say it, only abolition of Inquisition is abolition of the practice of rape of infants. There's occultistic rape. It also means abolition of any trafficking of any kind. It also means that there is no such thing as spies, because they're also the raped infant. Remember Julian Assange? It was like, was it a journalist? Was it an espionage? And he ran away from a cult and he this and he that. And again, I don't know if he's on Epstein list or not. But we know that thing is generated in the web of rape of infants. When the world is pushing for doubling population, of course this story is going to come up. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. The housing here, the housing there. If a person is tortured, they're going to make a mess in the entire place because they have, not because they have post-trauma, because they're tortured. If people are tied in apartments, of course everybody around is going to feel there's something weird in the neighborhood. Same if people are enclosed in a space. Those practices are abolished because are abolished in if we want to sustain life. Not by words only, but by deed. Not in a world, in a certain particular world, but in reality. Is done by honoring the feminine. The world can, again, humanity can go extinct, by web of nuclear bombs all together, no margins, everybody dies, above and below. And this is actually on the table. Unless it's actually safe and free. People try to manage to find the narrative that the narrative is that those practices cannot continue. Not in spirit, not in matter, not in practice, not in any world. People, occultistically rape people when they tend to the inner child. Then they're like, but my ideas and my ideas and my ideas. Wait a second. Were you or your loved ones raping occultistically a person that was tending to the inner child? Nobody cares about your religion. Nobody cares about your origin. Nobody cares about where you come from. Bless you. My mom sneezed. People care if you are safe and free to be around. Let's speak like that. If the people around the Nazis were safe and free for women, for the feminine, German families would flee, and very likely, and they did. Probably, very likely, they did. No, I'm not even talking about Jewish German families. German families. I'm also not talking about Irish families, because Irish is the infants that they kidnapped from Poland. They were looking blonde and blue, where they came from the cold countries. Now, people compare the Jews to the Nazis, same story. People compare I don't know who to the Nazis, same story.